What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and I'm very excited to bring you the news that Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that not only do Liverpool want to sign Alexis MacAllister, but Alexis MacAllister himself is very keen on a Liverpool move and negotiations are underway. And Neil Jones, who is a very respectable, a very good reputation Liverpool-based journalist, is also reporting in the goal.com website that Liverpool have MacAllister as their number one transfer priority after we pulled out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham. So in this video we will get to know all the details and all the latest news around Liverpool FC when it comes to transfer news. And also, do you think Liverpool can make top 4 after Manchester United lost to Brighton yesterday evening in a brilliant game where Brighton played Man United off the park? After Man United had a lot of chances in the first half, Brighton really turned the screw on them in the second half, and they were the better team in the second half, and they won with a 98th minute penalty by you know who, Alexis MacAllister, who had a man of the match performance against Man United. He was all over them in the second half. He bossed the midfield and he scored a brilliant penalty to win the game. So the details, according to Fabrizio Romano, are still to be clarified before a full agreement can be made on personal terms. So Liverpool will ask Alexis MacAllister what kind of wages he wants and of course what kind of bonuses there will be in the contract. But the negotiations will continue in the next few weeks. And then what's the most important is that Liverpool are in pole position to sign Alexis MacAllister, even though Manchester United and Tottenham are interested in MacAllister. The Man United transfer depends on Man United being sold to the Qataris, because the Glazers don't want to spend any more on the club before the sale is done and dusted. So Man United's sale is still pending, it's still ongoing. It has been a very up and down saga, that one, and I think that if Liverpool can get this negotiation completed in the next 2 or 3 weeks, Man United won't be sold, I think, before the season is over. So Liverpool could basically overthink Man United and sign Alexis MacAllister. And Neil Jones has confirmed that Liverpool have made Alexis MacAllister their number one summer transfer target. And according to the newspaper, Chelsea and Man United are also interested in him. Brighton will demand around £70 million for MacAllister, but they are aware that MacAllister wants to move from Brighton at the end of the season. I mean, even the journalist Cesar Luis Merlo, who is I think a journalist from Argentina with good connections, he gave some clarity on the situation. He said that even though MacAllister's contract runs until 2028, the idea of the player is getting a contract from Liverpool that runs until 2028, so it's a 5-year contract, and the idea of MacAllister is to wait for the Premier League to end and then decide his future, and he will be definitely leaving Brighton. So that's 100% confirmed and clarified. And even Brighton's owner said in an interview with Sky Sports yesterday, I watched the pre-match show on Sky Sports for the Brighton Man United game, and the CEO says that they know that some top players will leave the club, but they are always looking for the next generation of young talents. That's why they signed Buonanotte and Ciso and other youngsters. So they of course are aware that Brighton will not be able to keep all of their stars, so they are prepared to sell some of their best players in order to fund the rebuild of Brighton's squad. And Fabrizio Romano also said that Liverpool have presented their project to Alexis MacAllister, and they also presented the financial contract, the financial proposal, and also Liverpool's plans for the next 3-4 years. And discussions are advancing, but it's not a done deal yet. It hasn't been, no agreement has been made, but I think it's very likely at this point that Alexis MacAllister would sign for Liverpool. And even though I would love to see Moises Caicedo end up at Liverpool, the fact that Brighton rejected a £70 million deal for Caicedo in January, even though Arsenal wanted to sign him. I think after that, Caicedo signed a new contract, so now Brighton have absolutely no reason to sell him for anything other than 80, 90, or maybe even 100 million pounds. And Neil Jones thinks that after Liverpool pulled out of the Jude Bellingham transfer saga, Liverpool will move quickly to secure at least 2, but hopefully even 3 midfielders, even before the pre-season training begins. Liverpool are very keen on Chelsea's Mason Mount, apart from Brighton's MacAllister, and also Jurgen Klopp has been a long-time admirer of Inter Milan star Nicolo Barella. In Germany, there has been reports of Liverpool being interested in Frankfurt's Jesper Lindström, who has been a pretty good player for Frankfurt, but he's not exactly on the level of Mason Mount or Alexis MacAllister. Wolves midfielders Matheus Nunes and Ruben Neves have been also linked, but if I were Liverpool, I would sign Manuel Ugarte. We definitely need a defensive midfielder. We can't rely on Fabinho because this season showed that Fabinho had a really big dip in form, and next season we need a proper backup for Fabinho, in my opinion. And the other 2 midfielders would be Mason Mount and Alexis MacAllister. I don't think Barella would want to leave Inter Milan, but if there is a chance to sign Barella, I would go for him instead of Mason Mount, that's for sure. And Paul Ince, former Liverpool and Man United midfielder, has said that me and Jamie Redknapp have played in midfield, and we just loved watching you play. When they were interviewing Alexis MacAllister, they were saying this to him, because everything you do it correctly. You get back, you get up, you get down, you score goals. It was lovely to watch you play today. And it's not just about the goal. Watching you play tonight, it's your work rate, your passing ability. You are just an all-round player, I mean, that's not really a top analysis by these pundits, but Paul Ince said, we were standing next to a World Cup winner, someone who scored in the last minute against Man United, but he's so humble. He's talking about the young South American kids that he wants to look after, and he's young himself, but it's not about him, it's about the team ethic, and he works within that. He's happy to toe the line, he's happy to do the dirty bit of football, and he's also a very, very talented player. The only worry for me is about clubs coming in for players who are playing well. Paul Barber, Brighton's chief executive, confirmed that Brighton will have to sell some of their top players in the summer, because when big clubs come calling, Brighton also have to sell some of them. They can't offer them wages to compete with the likes of Liverpool, but also they have to show the young players that they can come in at Brighton, get playing time, and then in 2 or 3 years, when they develop and mature, they can go to a bigger club to advance their careers. If Brighton were just stopping these youngsters leaving, then their whole policy of signing young talents and then selling them for a profit, that would collapse. And Paul Ince said that MacAllister will be one of those players that big clubs are looking at, and I hate to say it, but I think he could be one of those that he will be sold in the summer. I think we already know, because MacAllister's agent pretty much confirmed that he will look to leave Brighton at the end of the season. And MacAllister is only 24 years old. He's entering the peak years of his career, and he's combining technical quality with tactical awareness, a strong team ethic, and an energy, stamina to run all game, box to box. MacAllister helped actually Brighton run Liverpool ragged earlier this season. They have beaten them 3-0. Liverpool lost to Brighton at the Amex Stadium, and Brighton also knocked Liverpool out of the FA Cup, and they also got a 3-3 draw at Anfield. So Liverpool haven't been able to beat Brighton this season. Alexis MacAllister is not a Steven Gerrard or Frank Lampard type of midfielder who scores a lot of goals, and he doesn't do a lot of defensive work, even though Steven Gerrard did quite a lot of defensive work. But MacAllister actually is very good defensively. He averaged 2.1 tackles per game per 90 minutes, and that's only bettered by Moises Caicedo with 3 tackles per 90 minutes. So this is a footballer, we are talking about Alexis MacAllister, who can combine the offensive play with his defensive duties quite brilliantly. And it's not a coincidence that Argentina started to play much better, and they started to go on a winning run when Alexis MacAllister was in their midfield in the World Cup. And what is very promising is that his injury record is almost faultless, almost spotless. He has an almost perfect injury record. That wasn't the case when we signed Thiago or Alexis Chamberlain. So Liverpool need to sign players who very rarely get injured, because we have too many injury prone players in midfield, and that has been one of the Liverpool's biggest downfalls this season. I think that the midfield was just constantly changing. Neil Jones also was surprised that James Milner is leaving Liverpool and he's joining Brighton. He said, "I'm surprised that Milner is leaving Liverpool. I'm a bit surprised he's going to Brighton. If you have said 6 Premier League clubs are in for James Milner, I probably wouldn't have had Brighton down as one of them, just because of the model of the club. There's potential to maybe go into coaching. Maybe he feels like the pathway there, coaching, scouting, or executive. From a Liverpool point of view, obviously he's going to be hugely missed around the club. There are times when you see James Milner on the side of the pitch coming on and you think, good, that's a good decision. What a servant he has been for Liverpool. 8 years since he joined, he won everything and played a huge part. He will be remembered fantastically. The Aston Villa game at Anfield, his former club, I hope he gets a fantastic ovation. I hope he gets on the pitch, and I hope he gets a fantastic ovation from Anfield. If and when he comes back with Brighton, his name will get cheered as soon as it's read out. He's a modern day Liverpool great. Not necessarily a legend, but definitely one of the many important players that helped Liverpool to win 7 trophies under Jurgen Klopp. James Milner has completed the set. And I still think that he would have had a good part to play next season, but hopefully Liverpool will sign young, promising players. And I mean, I can understand why Brighton have signed James Milner, or are about to sign James Milner, because they are mixing youth with experience. Look at their team. They have Danny Welbeck, they have Solly March, they have Pascal Gross, they have centre backs who are very experienced and who are quite old. Adam Lallana, of course, who could forget, another former Liverpool player. So they have players who are around or over 30 years old, and you need those older players to guide the young players and to help them. And I also want to take a look at what kind of results need to happen for Liverpool to finish ahead of Manchester United in the top 4 race. I think that's more likely than Newcastle dropping 9 or 10 points, even though Newcastle have a slightly harder fixture list. But because the West Ham lost to Man City and they lost now 3 games in a row, West Ham still need a result to keep them out. So I'm really hoping that they will be fired up for the home game. Liverpool will play Brentford tomorrow. So hopefully Liverpool win that, and Man United need to lose to West Ham for Liverpool to have a chance. Of course, after that, Man United will play Wolves at home. Wolves are already safe. They will be on the beach in slippers. So I expect Man United to beat Wolves, and Liverpool need to beat Leicester as well. And then Liverpool will play Aston Villa at Anfield. They need to play and win that as well. And hopefully Man United will drop 2 points, and hopefully it will be a 0-0 or 1-1 draw against Bournemouth. And then Man United will probably beat Chelsea, because Chelsea are just losing to everyone. And then on the final day of the season, Man United need to draw against Fulham, and Liverpool need to beat Southampton. So the problem is Man United have a lot of home games: Fulham, Chelsea, and also Wolves. So those home games, I think, are quite easy for Man United. If they play to their potential, they will easily qualify for the top 4. But if not, at least Liverpool need to go and do their own job. And now it's even more painful that we lost to teams like Leeds United, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest. All 3 of those teams were bottom of the league when they beat Liverpool. And that's the most painful to me, because if we had just won maybe 2 of those games and drawn the other one, we would be just below Man United in the table. So yeah, let me know what you think about everything that we talked about in the comments below. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.